Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today I'm doing my weekly Christian book review on The Foxhole Tour by Lynn Green. So I finally got to just sit and relax and read this book. It has been out for a few months, and I'm so sorry it hasn't been out sooner, but I think this was a perfect time to pick this book up. I was in the mood for a historical World War II fiction book that was just different. And Lynn Green does that. She does something so different with every single one of her books. I've only read, I think, 2 out of her 3 books. She has 3 or 4 out. Actually, it could be 4 now. But I've read 2 of them, and each book was completely different than anything you've ever read in the World War II fiction time. And this one was just, it was sensational. I loved it. This one is about a woman named Maggie. And we're actually following Maggie and Catherine. And they both work for the Sweethearts, which is a swing time orchestra band during World War II. Because all the men were off to war, the woman took over all the jobs. So naturally, some of the women took over the musicians, as there really wasn't any female musicians before then. So both of the women are involved with that. One plays the trumpet and one plays the violin. Well, one man ends up coming up to them after one of their last performances, and he comes up to Maggie and says, "Listen, we liked your speech." She made a speech. I won't say what it is, but she made a speech, which she was supposed to make a speech, but it was a little different than what the conductor wanted. Let's just put it that way. And so, but he's like, "I love your moxie. I love your humor. We have a USO tour that we're going to do." And so he was like, "Do you want to join up?" Well, she's like, "I probably have blew my chances of continuing with the Sweethearts after what I did." So she says, "You know what? Sure. Why not?" And Catherine, the other player, overhears the violinist, and she's like, "I want to be a part of it too," because, she's got some other issues that she just wants to get away from. And Maggie's kind of like, "I really don't want you being with me," but she ends up sticking up for her, and they both end up joining the USO shows. And it was just such a unique aspect. I don't think I've ever read a fiction book that talks about the USO shows. And so it was lovely seeing that background and seeing the tours happen and what the USO tours went through, being a small group of people who none of them were famous. So they don't get like the huge, like, "Oh, we're going to jet off to Paris and do USO shows," or whatever. They're, in the smaller units and wherever they are sent. And it was a fantastic read, seeing all these characters and how they deal with being, from, big cities in America to being put into like the middle of nowhere pretty much. And it was such a good time. I loved the characters. There was definitely some trigger warnings about PTSD in this book. I will say that, especially like wartime PTSD, but I did just enjoy it and love it. And I don't know. I don't know if I like this book more than The Blackout Book Club, which was another book that I read by her. I think this one might have topped it. I don't know. Because this one just had such a unique turn on World War II fiction, and it was really good and highly recommend it. I mean, the music, the atmosphere during this time, I thought it was a fantastic read and really enjoyed it. So thank you to Baker Publishing and Bethany House for sending me a copy of this book to read and talk about with you all. I will link it down below in case you want to check it out and purchase a copy. But I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.